My pleasure to do a review on Ron Jeremy's book. I met him in Times Square with the first screenplay that I'd ever written. I was lucky enough to be working for somebody that knew him very well. Ron Jeremy is an internationally acclaimed actor, stand-up comedian, classically trained pianist, accredited special education teacher, and renowned college lecturer. In his spare time, he's also starring in roughly 2,000 adult films, including award-winning performances in Susie Superstar and All the Way In. He lives in California. Harper Entertainment did this book. Of course, like the books that I write, he's got the pictures to go with the stories. It's very important. You all have cameras, you all have pictures, you all have friends. One time I went to a wedding and the bride and groom and their families had bought boxes of disposable cameras that they put at the table so that everybody could take pictures around the table, and as they left the wedding reception, there was a box where everybody was putting their cameras. And I often think, look at all these pictures that Ron has. I often think, if you and your friends just buy a bunch of disposable cameras and have them in your car and carry them in your purse and take them around with you and start taking pictures, we would have a bunch of fun, candid pictures like this. Let's see what Ron Jeremy has to say in the beginning of his book, The Hardest Working Man in Show Business. Dear reader, you probably think you already know me because you've seen one of my 2,000 porn movies, or maybe you caught me on VH1's The Surreal Life, or rented my movie Porn Star, or heard me rapping in someone's music video. Yeah, that's me. But believe it or not, that's not the real me. The real me is just an average guy trying to make it in the world like everyone else. Well, sort of. I always wanted to be a legitimate actor, that's right, don't laugh, but when the gigs didn't come, I didn't let it get me down. Instead, I'd fall into the arms of beautiful women and let them heal my bruised soul. One of them insisted on taking nude pictures of me and sending them to Playgirl. For some reason I agreed, and when it was published I got tons of phone calls. One of them was from a casting director who wanted me in his next picture. There was only one problem. It was a porno. What do you think? I asked my dad. He rubbed his chin and paused for a moment. I think you should do it, he said. I mean, you're already halfway there, and at least you'll be performing, right? That's exactly what I thought. From there, my life only got better. I traveled all around the world, made tons of money, and got more famous every year, but more than anything, I wanted to be legit, so I started doing stand-up comedy, moved to Hollywood, and kept my acting hopes alive by mingling with every major. Wait a minute. You don't care about any of this, do you? You just want to know about the celebrity orgies, the constant sex, and how I learned to blow myself. All right, fine. But keep reading. I guarantee you'll get more than you bargained for. Ron Jeremy. Ron Jeremy, the hardest working man in show business. I'm not sure why Mandy and I eventually drifted apart. There were a lot of reasons I could point to. For one thing, I graduated early from high school and enrolled in Queens College, where I was hanging out with a very different crowd. But more than that, our lifestyles were becoming increasingly disparate. A few years into our relationship, Mandy was taking drugs, not just pot, but the harder stuff like LSD. She was starting experimenting when she was still dating Charlie, socialized with Jamaica foreign exchange students, and had access to all the drugs he could handle. Chapter Catskills A Go-Go, page 45. Listen, Ron. We expected the calls to stop after a while, but it only got worse. Rose even moved out of the house because she couldn't take it anymore, and it took a month before we could get her number changed. My dad was furious, and of course he blamed me. Listen, Ron, he said, I don't have any problem with your getting into this naked, crazy business, but if you use the family name again, I'll kill you. Don't worry, assured him, I'm done with it. No more nude photos, no more magazine layouts. I'm going to stick to serious acting from now on, and I meant it too. Little did I realize that my idea of serious acting was very different from what was in store for me next. Catskills A Go-Go. What are the chapter names? I wonder. I'm so creative. What kind of chapter names did he come up with for his book? Contents. Prologue, Part 1. Portrait of a hedgehog as a young man. Catskills a go-go. Lions and tigresses and bears, oh my. A Star is Born. The Human Ouroboros. Swinging in the Rain, Part 2. Days of Porn and Roses of Vice and Men. How to Talk Dirty and Make People Laugh. I Fought the Law and the Law Lost. Hollywood Nights. The Ambassador of Porn. Midsummer Boogie Nights Dream. Going Mainstream. It's Good to Be the King. Dude, Where's Your Penis? John Wayne Bobbitt Superstar. Vertical Reality. The Ron Jeremy Show starring Ron Jeremy. Epilogue. Stars. Celebrities. Movie stars. I bought the well-known actress Fairuza Balk to the Boogie Nights premiere in Los Angeles. After so many months of preparation, it was exciting finally to see the finished product. It was an epic, just as Paul had promised, lasting nearly 3 hours and never losing its momentum. I can't say that I, or most of the porn industry, could identify with any of the characters. I'd never been addicted to drugs, never robbed a crime kingpin at gunpoint, never coerced underage. Let's see. Frequently asked questions about Ron Jeremy's penis. Dude, where's your penis? You know, John, we could make this movie without you. I was going to get Robert De Niro to play you, and Danny DeVito was going to play your penis. The crew laughed, but Bobbitt didn't seem to notice. He had other things on his mind besides his crappy jokes. Bobbitt arrived for his first day on the set looking uneasy. I wasn't sure if he was having second thoughts or if he was just worried about whether he'd be able to perform. He had a daunting task in front of him. A first experience in porno can be frightening enough, but when your cock is tied together with sutures and is literally hanging by a string, a guy can be exhausted for a little performance anxiety. I thought some humor might lighten the mood. I just wanted to remind him that we were all friends and we were all here with a single purpose, to make fun of the crooked, misshapen, gargoyle-ish penis. To be fair, it didn't look that bad. The stitches were hardly noticeable. It had a slight curve in the middle, like someone had tried to snap it in half, but otherwise it looked like any other penis shaft. The million-dollar question was whether it could get hard. Ron Jeremy.